Hello. It is my honor to introduce Dr. Beverly Daniel Tatum. Dr. Tatum is a psychologist and a widely respected leader in education, known for her work on race relations and her thoughtful guidance in higher education. She served as the president of Spelman College for 13 years, a hallmark of Atlanta that has produced some of the finest business people anywhere. Her leadership brought innovation and growth at Spelman, earning her the Carnegie Academic Leadership Award in 2013. She has also served as interim president at Mount Holyoke College and was a distinguished visitor at Stanford University. Dr. Tatum is the author of several books, including the New York Times bestseller, Why Are All the Black Kids Sitting Together in the Cafeteria? And her newest book, Peril and Promise, College Leadership in Turbulent Times, addresses the challenges and opportunities facing higher education today. She is also deeply involved in serving her community. Dr. Tatum serves as board chair of the Toll Charitable Foundation and is on the boards of Sesame Workshop and Educational Testing Services. She has helped guide many organizations, including Achieve Atlanta, Morehouse College, and Georgia Power. Dr. Tatum earned her BA in psychology from Wesleyan University, her MA and PhD in clinical psychology from the University of Michigan, and an MA in religious studies from Hartford International University. She has received many honors, including election to the American Philosophical Society and the American Psychological Association Award for outstanding lifetime contributions to psychology. When I met this inspiring educator, author, and leader, I told her what big fans my mom and I are of her books, and that I am hoping to go to Spelman for college. We talked about how many of the ideas for her books came from questions that she gets from teachers and students. I asked what advice she had for me, and she told me, you already know it, go to Spelman. Find a place you could be your full self. Please turn your attention to the screens for a video about Dr. Tatum.
Thank you all. I have to say, those videos really humble you. I want to take this opportunity first to say thanks to Tyler for that lovely introduction. She is such an impressive young woman, a scholar, a leader, and already an entrepreneur. I know you have a very bright future, and there's a Spelman table over there paying attention. I also want to thank Junior Achievement, of course, for this tremendous honor. When John Hancock and Tad Hutchinson called to let me know I had been selected for this year's inclusion, I was thrilled, knowing just how distinguished the other laureates are, and to be in that company, of course, is a tremendous honor. But I was especially excited when they told me that I would be sharing the stage with Yum Arnold, who, as you have heard, we've known each other ever since I came to Atlanta, and it's just really quite an honor to be on the stage with you, Yum. I have more to say about that, but I just want, as you know, Yum, or as you heard, Yum has been a longtime trustee at Spelman, and we have served together in a lot of places, as founding members of the Achieve Atlanta Board, as fellow members of the Atlanta Committee for Progress, on the Woodruff Arts Center Board, and most recently, Yum recruited me to serve on the Tull Foundation board with her. Yum has truly been a role model for community engagement in Atlanta, and I just want to thank you for being such a great example for me, Yum. Thank you. I, of course, want to thank the Junior Achievement team for the production of that video. I have been kind of holding my breath to see it, and but it's a lovely video, and I especially want to thank Roz and Gabby and John and Shan for taking the time to share their thoughts, and I'm really touched by that. I want to thank all of you who are here tonight to support the mission of junior achievement and to help celebrate me and Yum. And I want to give a special shout out to my Atlanta posse over here at this table. It is anchored first and foremost by my husband of almost 47 years, Dr. Travis Tatum. I know there are a lot of you who have met me or we've spent time together, and maybe you've never met my husband. He likes to keep a low profile. But he is always in my corner, and I am tremendously grateful for so many years of love and support. Thank you so much, Travis. You heard in the video that when I was nominated for the presidency of Spelman College back in 2002, we were living in Massachusetts. I grew up in Massachusetts. I wasn't particularly keen to leave Massachusetts. But it was Travis who said, if you don't pursue it, you will always regret it. And certainly he was right about that. Coming to Spelman and living in Atlanta, as we have now for 24 years, was one of the best decisions we ever made as a family. I could not have imagined then that 24 years later I would be standing here on this fabulous occasion speaking to all of you. But I want to dedicate this evening to my parents, Robert and Catherine Daniel. You know from the video that our family was part of the great migration of African Americans out of the Jim Crow South in 1958. In 2002, I led my family in what I call the Great Return. Our two sons followed us here after college, and 50 years after they moved to Massachusetts, my parents, in their 80s, picked up and moved to Atlanta too. They discovered the Atlanta of the 21st century and loved their Atlanta experience, the arts and culture, all the things that make this such a great city. They are both deceased now, but I can imagine how excited they would have been to be here tonight. And given their history, how pleased they would have been to look out at the diversity of this crowd and the progress it represents. When I or any of my siblings accomplished something meaningful, my dad would always say, speaking for himself and my mother, "We are pleased but not surprised." But I imagine if he were here tonight, he would say, "We are pleased and surprised." They expected good things from their children, but I'm not sure they would have ever expected this, especially in a southern city. They were born, I was reflecting on this, 100 years ago, 1926, and the struggles of the 20th century were their frame of reference. I am proud to be part of this Atlanta, the Atlanta of the 21st century, and grateful for the opportunities I've had to be immersed in helping to make the city even better for everyone. I look a lot like my mother. I don't know if you noticed that when you saw the pictures. When I was a teenager, I did not like it when people said, "You are just like your mother." Today, I recognize that my mother was a brilliant and kind woman, a community leader, a real force of nature when she was determined to do something. I would not be who I am today if it had not been for my mother's early imprint. And I now realize I am lucky to be like my mother. There were two life lessons that are core to who she was and who I am, and that I would share with the young people in the room tonight. Number one, treat people the way you want to be treated. Christians call that the golden rule, but every great faith tradition has a version of it. It is easy to say, often harder to do, particularly when others are not treating you that way. But my parents model that every day, and it is part of my DNA. Maya Angelou once said, "People may not remember what you said, but they will remember how you made them feel." Your actions will always speak louder than your words. When in doubt, choose kindness. The second is something my mother used to say: always leave a place better than you found it. Whether she was talking about picking up your socks from the living room floor or advocating for change on the local school board, as she did, the point was to be an agent of positive change. Be the change you want to see. That is what I have tried to do, and I am grateful I have had a chance to do that work in partnership with so many of you here in this great city. Truly, that has been the honor of a lifetime. Thank you, and thank you, Junior Achievement, for this wonderful recognition. Thank you very much.